Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you're all staying safe and well, washing those hands and staying at home whilst that dreaded coronavirus is out there. I went out there earlier today actually because I had to go to the shops to get a few things. So I had my mask on, I had my hat on to make sure my ears are covered, and my gloves on. And one of the things I found with my mask is that my glasses were steaming up, so I couldn't see where I was going. Nearly walked into a lamppost. Anyway, better safe than sorry, I suppose. But anyway, I hope you're all managing to stay safe in these very weird circumstances with a quarter of the world under lockdown at the moment. And most of the car industry that has come to a complete halt, as I've mentioned in previous videos. If you've been following these video series, hashtag BCG Daily, just subscribe to my channel. In fact, whilst I'm doing this, make sure you're following me on all social media channels. It's hashtag Brown Car Guy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, browncarguy.com, and of course here on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification button as well, so you get the latest updates and all of my videos. Oh, by the way, I'm thinking of doing a quiz on Saturday. Today is March 31st, Tuesday. It's about, what time is it right now? It's about 1:35 p.m. So I'll upload this shortly. And yeah, on Saturday, 4th of April, at 3 p.m. UK time, I'm thinking of doing a quiz live online on Instagram, so join me there. Anyway, so I was going to big up Geely today. Yes, 10 years of Volvo being owned by Geely. Now, you think, what's the big deal of that? Well, have you heard of Geely? Do you know what Geely is? Geely actually means lucky. And how lucky has it been for Volvo? Actually, very lucky indeed. So they bought Volvo back in 2010. They paid about $1.8 billion for it. They bought it off Ford. Ford used to own Volvo at the time. Ford used to own a lot of manufacturers at one point, and then they slowly relinquished them, including Jaguar, Land Rover, Aston Martin, and Volvo was one of them. You know, and then they kind of put, you know, they sort of left them alone. They sort of, you know, let them get on with what they were doing. I think they put a bit of money into it as well. And then they just said, Volvo, go do what you do. And sure enough, in 2014, they came out with the brilliant all-new flagship XC90, which I remember reviewing at the time. I mean, I was blown away by the typical Volvo attention to detail, the solidity, the quality, the robustness, the fact that it had that, was it the twin, what do they call it? The twin, I can't remember what they call it, twin thing injection and turbo. So basically it's got a supercharger and a turbocharger, and basically it will do everything. So I mean, I got into this Volvo XC90, picked it up at the dealership to take it for a review, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit weak, isn't it? Because we all used to, like, you know, in the Middle East, we all used to like, you know, the big engined XC90s, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit weak. First time I stomped on the accelerator, it went whoa, and I was like, hey, whoa, this is a bit quick, isn't it? And, you know, it wasn't lacking in juice. And of course, since then they've had the XC60, had the S90, V90, and the latest XC40. I haven't driven the latest XC40. I've driven the others though. I might put links to reviews below, or in this, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the description below. So they've been really, really good for Volvo. 10 years now. Last year, Volvo sold 700,000 cars. In fact, let me give you this incredible bit of information, because that's the most cars that they've ever sold in their 90-year history. When in 2011, so remember that Geely bought Volvo in 2010. In 2011, Volvo had 21,500 employees, and they sold about 450,000 cars worldwide. So in last year, they, as I mentioned, well over, in fact, 705,000 cars worldwide, 43,000 employees, that's double the number of employees, and that's for operating profit. Multiplied by 9, yes, a 9-fold increase in operating profit, thanks to what Geely has been able to do with them. And Geely, of course, has been busy. It wasn't just Volvo. Now they've branched Volvo off into another brand. So they've got Polestar. They've invested $750 million into that brand, which is now going to be Volvo's electric car, standalone electric car brand. It used to be their performance brand, but now, so it's a little bit confusing because it went from performance to electric. So anyway, that's their electric car brand. They've also, in 2013, they bought the London Taxi Corporation and turned it into the London Electric Vehicle Company. And I reviewed the taxi recently. I'll put a link to that again below. And what a completely amazing leap forward that taxi is compared to anything that's gone before. And again, they spent, I think, well over £250,000 on that, on investing on the new factory and new infrastructure for that. and the car is just phenomenal. When you drive it, you feel bits of Volvo in it, like the dashboard and the instrumentation and the switchgear. You can feel Volvo, so you can feel, so that's a good thing because that's quality. And in fact, talking of feeling the influence of Volvo in taxi, you can also, of course, Geely itself, which has been around since 1986. I don't know what else they've been doing, but they got into automotive in 97, and of course they're a massive company in China. And in about 2017 I reviewed, and again I'll put the link below. In 2017 I reviewed the Geely M Grand X7 Sport, and there was a few Chinese cars that I reviewed that year. And I was like, yeah, they're okay, they're getting there. The Chinese cars, I was like, yeah, they're getting there, they're okay, but the quality is not quite there. You can feel it, you can hear it, you can sense it in the drive. And then I drove the Geely X7. It was unbelievable. It felt solid. It felt like a proper car, properly built, properly developed, properly resolved. And I was like impressed. And it's still cheap, still very well spec'd. And at the time, I was telling anybody that was looking for an affordable family SUV, I was like, that's the one to get. And I haven't driven one recently, but I suspect it's even better now. You could clearly start to see the influence of that. And of course, Geely also has now, in 2018, they took a 10% stake in Daimler, which of course is Mercedes-Benz, and started benefiting from all of that technology as well. Talking of technology and the stuff that they've got lined up in future, they own Terrafuga, the American maker of flying cars, and of course they also own Volocopter. So they are getting it. We are talking flying cars here from Geely very soon, from this huge Chinese company. And of course in 2017 they bought Proton, and of course my beloved brand Lotus as well. I couldn't be happier. Lotus has been bounced around between different ownerships and different companies all these years, and eventually this company has now bought them. This company that has a stake in Daimler, owns Volvo. Of course, they bought Proton. They've got all these high-tech companies that they're involved in, and now they bought Lotus. And Lotus, of course, brings its own engineering expertise, research and development expertise, and all of the innovation that brings that they can then now pass on to. Think about it, Geely products, Volvo products. I think we'll all be driving Geelys one day. This is how it's going to go. But certainly sticking with Lotus, why I'm so excited is because, of course, last year we had the news of this is sort of a revival of Lotus, and it was sort of a flag waving moment. It was like, here we are, we're back. As far as Lotus was concerned, here's our new hypercar. There was a £2 million Evija full electric hypercar. But more pertinent news, of course, is that I think in a year or two they're coming up with a completely new chassis, completely new car that will be joining the range. They're talking about maybe an SUV in it, but in the meantime they're also talking about the last hurrah for the current Elise stroke Evora platform. That could be a new car that could potentially maybe be called the Esprit. Oh my God, I can't wait for that. I've talked about this in the previous BCG Daily as well. What I would love to see is if they take the original Esprit shape and just put it over the Evora chassis. It fits. I'm pretty sure it fits. I don't think there would be that much difference. They should just do that, because I'd certainly line up for one of those. Oh my God, that would be incredible. But yeah, we might have an Esprit. So anyway, incredible stuff from this big Chinese company. So Geely stands for lucky. It's certainly proved lucky for the brands that it's worked with, and lucky in the sense that it's up and running. I mean, Volvo has now got 4 factories. So they went from I think 2 factories in Europe to 4 factories in China, 1 in America, and of course the 2 in Europe. The ones in America have already started production again, so they're up and running. So yeah, I mean, they're doing really, really well, and I'm looking forward to some amazing things coming out of these brands very, very soon. Anyway, stay tuned to browncarguy.com and me on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing, hit the notification button, make sure you follow #BrownCarGuy on all of the social media channels, and of course stay tuned to these. Make sure you hit the notification so you get these as I put them out. I try and put these out as often as I can. Of course, with the way things are at the moment, things have slowed down. There isn't that much news, but there's still plenty to talk about, and I will be talking about it, rest assured. So stay tuned. I hope to see you soon, and maybe catch you on Saturday. Take part in that fun quiz we're going to do. All right, thanks guys.